Welcome, the Anointed One. Some people studied you like a science project, only to realize too late you were the scientist the whole time. There is a level of clarity in you they never expected. They look at the quiet one, and they feel intimidated. They cannot quite explain you, and right now you have become the question mark in their neat little equations. They want to know why your energy breaks their logic. They try to put you in a box, but your spirit shatters the glass every single time. I know what the last 72 hours have felt like for you. You wake up at 3 in the morning with a weight on your chest you cannot explain to anyone. You walk through your own home, feeling like a stranger in a foreign land. Conversations stop the moment you enter the room. The atmosphere shifts, and people suddenly pull away. You are not imagining it, and you are not too sensitive. What you are feeling is entirely real. Your radar is picking up on a frequency they are desperately trying to hide. The enemy has been working overtime against you for one reason, and one reason only. He knows what shifts the moment you understand the frequency you actually carry. But this means your current isolation is not a punishment. You did not find this message by accident today. The algorithm did not bring you here tonight. The Holy Spirit arranged this exact moment. This is a divine appointment scheduled before the foundations of the earth. You are exactly where you are supposed to be right now. In the next few minutes, I am going to show you exactly why your presence unsettles them. I will expose the hidden mechanism that suppressed your gift for years, and at the very end, I will give you the declaration that reactivates it fully. Do not click away. Stay until the very last word. Your future self is waiting on the other side of these words. If you leave before the end, you walk away from the verdict heaven prepared for you. The truth is about to be unveiled. They told you that you were too deep or too much your whole life. You carried the weight of everyone else while no one carried yours. You gave so much and received so little in return. And because of this, you started to believe there was something wrong with your energy. You dimmed your own light just to make ordinary people feel comfortable. But they were not rejecting you. They were simply grieving the old version of you they were about to lose. You are outgrowing their limited perception. You have tried everything to break through this invisible wall. You meditated and you prayed, and you followed all the rules they gave you. But life still feels blocked, and you know deep down you carry a higher potential. You watch other people succeed effortlessly while you struggle to take a single step forward. It is exhausting. You are standing between two identities right now. One is dissolving, and the other is waiting to be born. The transition period always feels like a heavy burden. There is a massive gap between the person you know yourself to be and the version of you that the world currently sees. You feel it humming under your skin every single day. It is that quiet frustration when you know you were meant for massive impact, but your current reality refuses to shift. You wonder if you missed your window or if you did something to delay your own blessing. I am here to tell you that you did absolutely nothing wrong. The timeline is perfectly intact. An unseen force has been suppressing your natural frequency since you were a child. Back then, ideas came easily, and you knew things before they happened. You felt a deep connection to the universe, and it felt like the world was on your side. Then, adulthood arrived, and the modern world went to work on you. The stress and the screens and the survival routine pushed your sacred frequency deeper below the surface. Every single year, this signal was pushed further down. Most people will live their entire lives without knowing this suppression even happened to them. They accept the exhaustion as normal, and they stop asking for more. But you are not most people. Your spirit has been crying out for a restoration of that original power. You have been searching for the missing piece that makes everything click into place. You want the synchronicities to return, and you want the divine flow to guide your steps again. That desire is completely valid, and it is about to be answered. Before we go any further, I want to hold something in front of you. Something that was discovered not inside a church or a spiritual community, but inside a research laboratory. It won the highest scientific recognition available, and most chosen ones have never been told about it, because it explains this exact gap you have been feeling your entire life. I will show you exactly what was found. It is a discovery that challenges everything the system has taught us about human potential and spiritual connection. But I cannot reveal it just yet. First, I need you to fully understand what was taken from you without your consent. So I want you to hold this one specific question in your mind as we continue. What if the gap between you and your breakthrough is not a character flaw? What if the block actually has a scientific name that no one told you about? We will come back to this later. Now let us look at what happens when your energy enters a room and disrupts their carefully constructed reality. They told you that your energy was a problem. They said you were too intense and too difficult to understand. But let me reframe your entire reality right now. That isolation you have been calling a punishment was never a punishment. It was preparation. God did not remove the crowd to abandon you today. He cleared the room so he could finally speak to you without any interference. Your isolation is not evidence of your disqualification. It is evidence of your selection. The people who are pulling away from you right now are not rejecting you. They are sensing a frequency that they simply cannot understand yet. And they are terrified of what they cannot control. You must stop apologizing for the exact trait that makes you spiritually dangerous to the enemy. For years they tried to convince you that your intense emotions were a massive burden. They wanted you to believe that you cared too much and thought too deeply about everything. But they were measuring a spiritual giant with the ruler of a mortal mind. You can never expect ordinary systems to comprehend a divine assignment. Your energy operates on a level that completely bypasses their understanding. What you carry inside you is not a wound. It is a powerful weapon. The deep sensitivity they told you to hide is actually a highly tuned radar. The emotional depth that made you feel like you were too much is your greatest asset. It is the very thing that gives your words the heavy weight to shift atmospheres. You were never broken or flawed in any way. You were built for a different frequency. You have felt so exhausted lately because you are shedding an old identity. You have not been aging these past few years. You have been molting. You are stripping away every single agreement you made with smallness. And shedding skin is a painful process that requires massive amounts of isolation. The world sees you retreating, but heaven sees you upgrading your entire spiritual capacity. And here is what they never told you about that frequency. The reason the universe responds effortlessly to certain people and not others is not just about blind faith. It is not about harsh discipline or good karma. It is actually a brainwave. Scientists have a specific name for it, and they call it gamma. And it is the exact frequency your brain was running when you were a small child. Gamma is the biological signature of the miraculous. It is the exact state where complex problems suddenly solve themselves with very little effort. Researchers call it the eureka state, where spontaneous insight flows directly into your conscious mind. When this brainwave is active, you do not have to force anything to happen. You simply align with the universe, and the heavy doors swing open automatically. Think back to when you were young. Brilliant ideas came to you so easily. Learning new things felt completely effortless. You somehow knew things long before they ever happened. The entire world felt like it was completely on your side. That was your gamma state operating at full capacity, and it was slowly taken from you without your consent as you grew older. Adulthood arrived and the modern world went to work on you. The chronic stress and the endless screens took a heavy toll. The school system trained you to conform instead of encouraging you to create. The relentless rhythm of survival mode crushed your spirit. Every single year, this sacred frequency was suppressed a little further. It was pushed deeper and deeper below the conscious surface. The architects of the modern world designed a system to keep you in a constant state of low-level fear. They built environments that thrive on your perpetual exhaustion. Because a tired mind cannot access the higher frequencies required to break free, they gave you 1,000 distractions to ensure your brain never reached absolute clarity. They essentially put your spiritual receiver on mute. When your gamma frequency fades away, your natural genius fades right along with it. Your sharp intuition dulls into a vague anxiety. Those beautiful synchronicities suddenly stop happening. The deep sense that the universe is working with you goes completely silent, and the version of you with lightning-fast intuition gets locked away. You are left feeling entirely disconnected from your own life. Most people will live their entire lives without ever knowing that this neurological suppression happened to them. They will accept the struggle and blame themselves. But you are not most people. And the question I asked you to hold in your mind a few minutes ago, the one about a gap and a hidden name, the answer to that question is much closer than you think. The gap you feel is not a character flaw. They meant to destroy you by shutting down your signal, but instead, they developed your endurance. Now, they do not know what to do with you. Your energy breaks their logic because you are waking up to the truth. You are starting to realize that your power was never truly lost. It is simply dormant and waiting for the right moment to be switched back on. And that moment is arriving very soon. But before we talk about how to restore that signal, there is something else you need to see. You need to understand exactly why the system is so afraid of a fully activated chosen one. Coming up next, I will reveal the ancient proof of what happens when this frequency is unleashed. But first, this profound truth must land deep in your spirit. Let this settle like bedrock before we move forward. But here is where the narrative of your energy delves far deeper than most are willing to perceive. History is filled with records of individuals who carried this exact same frequency throughout time. And every single time they appeared, they completely dismantled the logic of their generation because they operated on a higher law. The system could never predict their next move. Their source of instruction was not of this physical world. Look at the ancient records of Moses in the unforgiving wilderness. He spent 40 years wandering in absolute isolation before the burning bush ever appeared to him. The world looked at him and saw a shepherd who had completely lost his mind. They thought he was wandering aimlessly in the dry desert, but heaven was actually using that profound silence to recalibrate his internal receiver, and the delay was a necessary part of the grand design. He was not abandoned in that barren wasteland. The divine presence simply cleared the room so he could finally speak without any worldly interference. When you carry a massive assignment, the noise of ordinary people becomes a highly dangerous distraction. God had to separate Moses from the system of Egypt to upgrade his frequency. Your current season of isolation serves the exact same purpose, because you cannot hear the subtle whispers of heaven in a crowded room. The matrix of their time could not comprehend how a simple shepherd could bring down an entire empire. They tried to dress David in heavy armor because that is how mortals prepare to fight. But he refused their heavy protection. He knew that relying on their logical tools would instantly block his divine advantage. He brought a slingshot and a completely different frequency to the battlefield, and that vibration alone was enough to topple a giant. The mortal mind requires logical and predictable steps to feel comfortable with success. They want you to climb the ladder, one painful rung at a time. But the chosen one phenomenon bypasses their human ladder entirely. When your frequency is fully aligned, you take an elevator that skips 1,000 meaningless steps, and this sudden elevation makes ordinary people incredibly angry and confused, because they cannot fathom how you bypass their rigid system. When you operate on this upgraded wavelength, the system always panics. Ordinary people rely on predictable patterns to feel safe and secure in their lives. They need you to fit neatly into their limited understanding of reality. but your energy refuses to be contained by their extremely small definitions. You walk into a room, and your mere presence challenges the lies they tell themselves every single day. You have been sitting inside a spiritual crucible for a very long time. A crucible is designed to apply intense pressure until the impurities burn away entirely. It feels like complete destruction while you are trapped inside the fire. But the fire was never meant to consume your beautiful soul. It was carefully calibrated to burn off every single false identity you picked up from the world, and it leaves behind only pure gold. They meant to destroy you by throwing you into that intense fire, but instead they accidentally developed your highest and most potent potential. Now they look at you, and they simply do not know what to do with you. Your survival breaks every established rule of their logical world. You survived things that absolutely should have broken your mind and your spirit, and you emerged stronger than anyone could have ever predicted. You are a beautiful anomaly in their carefully constructed universe. When you speak, the atmosphere physically shifts around your body. People feel the heavy weight of your words, even if they refuse to admit it. That is the gamma signature radiating outward from your awakened spirit. And the enemy hates it because he cannot replicate or steal this authentic power while you wield it with effortless grace. You are walking around with a completely different operating system right now. They are trying to run old software while you are downloading direct updates from heaven. No wonder they look at you with such strange and intense suspicion. You threaten the illusion that their limited reality is the only one that exists. You are a walking reminder of the spiritual power they surrendered long ago, and they resent you for keeping your connection alive. There is a deeper cosmic reason why you feel like you do not belong here. You were never meant to blend in with the background noise of this planet. You were sent here to disrupt the frequency of fear that controls them. Your sensitivity is the exact tool required to detect and dismantle their invisible traps. You are a frequency master hiding in plain sight, and your true assignment is finally coming into sharp focus. And once this profound truth clicks into place, you are ready for the next layer. Because there is a deeper root operating beneath this specific season of your life. If you do not see it clearly, it will keep running silently beneath the surface. Coming up next, I will expose the exact mechanism of this hidden trap. But first, let this powerful revelation settle deep within your spirit, because what follows will change everything you thought you knew. Here is that deeper root I promised you just a moment ago. The sudden isolation you are experiencing right now is not a random accident. It is a highly calculated move by the universe. You thought you were being punished because the crowd slowly disappeared and left you all alone. But heaven was actually executing a massive rescue mission on your behalf, and the sudden silence in your life is entirely intentional. You must understand that your current isolation is actually a cosmic quarantine. The universe is actively protecting your delicate frequency from serious worldly contamination. Your energy is incredibly absorbent, and you naturally pick up the intense emotions of everyone around you. If heaven had left you in that crowded room, you would have absorbed their toxic fear. You would have drowned in their very low vibrations. Think about how precious things are always kept in the dark to develop safely. A seed must sit in the absolute blackness of the soil before it can ever break the surface. A caterpillar must endure the tight confinement of a cocoon to completely rebuild its physical structure. You are inside a spiritual vault right now, and the darkness around you is not a grave, but a powerful incubator for your soul. People walked away from your life recently, and it hurt your heart deeply. You wondered what you did wrong to make them leave you behind in the cold. But they were permanently removed from your environment by a very specific and loving design. They simply could not travel with you into the next elevated dimension of your true calling. Their lower frequency would have acted like a heavy anchor on your rising spirit. If they had stayed in your life, they would have dragged you backward constantly. They would have demanded that you shrink your brilliant light just to match their comfortable shadows. The universe heard secret conversations you never heard, and it saw hidden intentions you could not see. The separation was brutally painful, but it was absolutely necessary for your ultimate survival. You were heavily guarded. Your spiritual receiver is far too sensitive to be surrounded by constant static noise. When you are called to a massive assignment, the noise of ordinary people becomes a dangerous distraction. God had to separate you from the noisy system so your internal compass could reset properly. He needed your undivided attention because he is upgrading your entire operating system in total peace. You are not a sad victim of terrible loneliness today. You are a highly guarded asset in the beautiful kingdom of heaven. The enemy wants you to look at your empty room and feel a deep sense of total failure. But that empty room is actually your safest sanctuary right now. It is the exact place where your original frequency is quietly healing from years of severe worldly damage. You must completely stop mourning the loss of people who were never meant to enter your next chapter. What is leaving your life right now is simply making room for what is truly meant for you. You were not rejected by the harsh system. You were profoundly redirected toward a much higher and more beautiful purpose. The people who left are making space for the divine connections waiting for you. I know it feels incredibly heavy to walk this lonely path entirely by yourself. Human beings are wired for connection, and the profound silence can feel absolutely deafening sometimes. But this deep solitude is only a temporary season of intense and beautiful preparation. You are building the necessary spiritual muscle to carry the massive weight of your upcoming assignment. You are getting much stronger every day. The universe is doing massive heavy lifting behind the scenes of your daily life right now. Even when it looks like absolutely nothing is happening, your energy field is expanding rapidly. You are shedding the heavy layers of trauma and people-pleasing that kept you extremely small for years. You have not been aging through this hard process because you have been molting and preparing to fly. Every time you choose to sit quietly in the discomfort, instead of running back to toxic people, you win. You legally reclaim another precious piece of your stolen territory. Your energy is finally returning to its original and pure state of absolute clarity. The system is losing its tight grip on your beautiful mind and your open heart. You are becoming completely immune to their manipulative tactics and their endless mind games. And once you realize that your isolation is actually a fortress, you are ready for the ultimate truth. Because there is a way to actively assist this cosmic process and speed up your restoration. Coming up next, I will reveal the exact solution that science discovered to bring your frequency back online. But first, let this beautiful realization settle deep in your heart before we move forward. You have endured the silence and the heavy isolation for so long, and now the season of preparation is finally coming to a beautiful end. The universe is actively aligning massive opportunities directly in your current path. The doors that were permanently sealed are quietly loosening on their hinges right now. You are not endlessly chasing your elusive breakthrough anymore. It is actively finding its way to you today. But there is one critical missing piece to this magnificent puzzle. The universe is shifting in your favor, but your internal receiver is running on old programming. The modern system successfully suppressed your beautiful gamma frequency years ago, and they turned down the volume on your natural genius and your sharp intuition. You are struggling to clearly recognize the massive blessings standing right in front of you. What if I told you that this neurological suppression is entirely reversible? You do not have to live the rest of your life feeling completely blocked. Before we go any further, I have to tell you something incredibly important. It is something the people who profit from your daily exhaustion actively hide from you. A massive breakthrough exists, and it is already within your reach today. The solution is highly scientific. A brilliant team of neuroscientists working quietly away from the loud headlines made a staggering discovery, and they found a proven way to bring this dormant brainwave back to life. They did not achieve this through years of silent meditation that most ordinary people cannot sustain. They did not use massive biofeedback machines that cost thousands of dollars. They discovered something far simpler and far more aligned with your original design. They engineered a specific sound frequency that does the heavy lifting for you, because it gently guides your complex brainwave patterns back to the pure genius state you were born with. Princeton University studied this exact phenomenon and its direct link to your hidden abilities, while the prestigious Einstein Center in Berlin confirmed that the legendary flow state is driven entirely by this gamma activity. The implications of this stunning research are absolutely massive for chosen ones like you. Columbia University found that when this specific brainwave is fully reactivated, it does not just stop with you. It radiates outward and positively influences the people closely surrounding you. It deeply impacts your children and your partner and those who matter most. You become a walking transmitter of pure and healing energy. This ancient frequency protocol was compressed into just 7 effective minutes. 7 minutes a day is literally all it takes to see a massive shift in your reality. You simply put on your headphones and close your eyes and completely relax, because there is absolutely no forced meditation or complicated mantra required to make it work. It begins working below the level of conscious awareness the very first time you listen. I know you are wondering how you can access this remarkable technology right now. I will tell you exactly what it is called and how to access it before this message ends. I promise I will not leave you hanging without the specific key to unlock this door. But first, there is something incredibly urgent you must understand about why your breakthrough was delayed for so long. We have to look deeply at your own mind. The system did not just suppress your brilliant frequency from the outside world. They successfully taught you how to police your own energy from the inside. They made you so afraid of your immense power that you started helping them keep it contained. You became your own worst warden without even realizing what you were doing. And this is the most uncomfortable truth we have to face on this beautiful journey. If we do not expose this internal block, the new frequency will simply bounce right off you. Stay closely with me, because what I am sharing next is the missing piece that shatters the cycle. Coming up, I will expose the exact lie you have been telling yourself for decades. But first, this profound realization about your suppressed brainwave must settle deep within your spirit. Your struggle was never a permanent flaw. The world told you that you were entirely responsible for your heavy emotional burdens. They made you believe that your lack of massive success was due to a lack of intense discipline. But discipline cannot fix a biological receiver that was intentionally jammed by the modern matrix. You have been fighting a deeply spiritual battle using the wrong physical weapons. It is time to drop the heavy armor they gave you and pick up the right frequency. You are standing on the very edge of a massive personal revolution today. The scientific validation of your hidden abilities is just the very first step. The second step requires you to look honestly at the heavy chains you placed on your own wrists. We are going to break those invisible chains together in just a moment. Let the truth of this scientific revelation wash over your tired mind right now. You are finally ready to receive the ultimate clarity. And here is the part that nobody really wants to hear out loud. I say this next part to you with absolutely nothing but pure love. The thing that has been quietly blocking your ultimate breakthrough is not the enemy anymore. The enemy simply set the trap and stepped back. It is actually a very quiet part of you that has been deeply afraid of your own immense power. You have been terrified of what would happen if you fully unleashed your energy. You worried that people would call you crazy or leave you completely behind. So you made a subconscious agreement to dim your brilliant light just to keep ordinary mortals feeling comfortable. You decided to play small because playing big felt like a massive risk to your tender heart. This is not a harsh accusation against your beautiful soul today. It is simply the spiritual diagnosis that finally sets you free. You have been lowering your natural frequency to match the broken rooms you walk into, but you were never meant to match the heavy vibration of a sick environment. You were sent there to elevate the room entirely by holding your sacred ground. Every time you held back your true thoughts, you actively jammed your own signal. You felt the truth bubbling up inside your chest, but you swallowed it. You smiled politely when your spirit was actually screaming for absolute authenticity. And every single time you compromised your truth, you sent a powerful message to the universe. You told heaven you were not truly ready. You thought you were just being kind and keeping the peace for everyone else around you. But false peace always comes at the massive expense of your own divine calling. You cannot carry a heavy mantle of breakthrough while wearing the tight chains of chronic people-pleasing. Those two frequencies simply cannot coexist within the exact same human vessel. One has to leave. I know exactly why you built this protective shell around your gentle heart. The world punished you severely every time you showed them your true depth. They called you too intense when you were simply being authentic and beautifully raw, so you learned how to be a quiet chameleon to survive the harsh environment. You wore a heavy mask just to safely navigate their rigid matrix. But survival mode is officially over for you right here and right now. You are not a scared child navigating a dangerous system anymore. You are a chosen one who carries the exact frequency required to dismantle that broken system. The mask is suffocating the very gift that is supposed to completely liberate you. You have to stop apologizing for the massive space your energy takes up. When you shrink yourself, you actually deprive the world of the healing they desperately need. The people who are truly meant for you are searching for your authentic signal. But they cannot find you if you keep broadcasting on a compromised and diluted frequency. Your true tribe is waiting for you to stand up and broadcast your unique power at absolute full volume. You have been apologizing for your magnificent presence for far too long. You have carried the heavy guilt of being different since you were very young. But there is absolutely nothing wrong with the beautiful way heaven designed you. Your energy is a potent weapon, and it is time you finally learned how to wield it without any fear. The exhausting days of hiding are completely over. We are about to completely break every single agreement you made with smallness and limitation. You are standing right on the sacred threshold of your ultimate spiritual liberation. The heavy burden of caring what ordinary mortals think is about to fall off your tired shoulders. You are going to feel physically lighter the moment you finally release this massive and unnecessary weight. I need you to prepare your heart for what we are about to do next. This is the pivotal moment where your entire trajectory permanently shifts in your favor. We are going to activate the declaration that seals everything we have discussed today. This is the exact moment you stop asking for permission and confidently take your rightful place. Let your beautiful spirit rise to the surface. The universe has been patiently waiting for you to stop hiding your brilliant light from the world. Heaven does not need you to be perfect or completely flawless to use you. It only requires your absolute willingness to be seen in your raw and unedited truth. The enemy is terrified of this exact moment because he knows his psychological grip is finally breaking forever. You, are waking up. Do not let fear convince you to step back into the comfortable shadows today. The shadows were never a home for someone who was literally born to shine brightly. You have the power to rewrite the entire narrative of your life right here and right now. The hidden block is exposed, and a block loses all its power the moment it is accurately named. You are completely free. And now comes the critical juncture where everything finally aligns for your massive breakthrough. Tonight, before you sleep, you are going to reclaim your stolen territory. You are going to speak a frequency that shatters the glass ceiling above your entire life. I promised you a declaration at the very beginning of this message, and that divine promise is about to be completely fulfilled. This is your moment, not tomorrow, and not when you finally feel ready, right now. Place your hand on your heart and declare this with me out loud. I completely release the massive need to be understood by everyone. I release every single agreement I ever made with smallness and limitation. I step into my true assignment knowing my isolation was preparation and not punishment. My ultimate breakthrough is not coming because it is already here. I walk forward knowing I am chosen and prepared. Take a deep breath and let that massive truth settle in your bones. The heavy chains are finally broken. And the question I asked you to hold at the very beginning of this message, the question about a hidden gap and a scientific name, here is the powerful answer. What if the gap between you and your blessing is not a character flaw at all? What if it is simply a suppressed frequency waiting to be switched back on? A specific brainwave called the gamma wave was running in you as a brilliant child at full capacity. Princeton University studied it closely. Columbia University found that when this exact brainwave is restored, it radiates outward and beautifully influences the people you love. A dedicated team of neuroscientists led by Dr. Robert Lake spent years compressing the full clinical protocol for gamma reactivation into a simple daily habit. But before I tell you exactly what they built, let me tell you about two people who actually used it. A beautiful woman from California named Rachel had tried absolutely everything to break her fog. She tried meditation and manifesting and endless prayer, but nothing truly shifted. After 2 weeks of listening, she said the blocked channel simply opened. Her marriage transformed beautifully, and she described her new life as completely enchanted. Then a hard-working man from Texas named Michael started using it to improve his business focus. 2 months later, his wife joked that his intelligence had jumped 20 points. The hardest financial problems he used to lose sleep over started solving themselves while he slept peacefully. He said it felt like his brain was finally running on the premium fuel it was always supposed to run on. His entire reality shifted. That is exactly what Dr. Lake and his brilliant team built. They call it the Genius Song. It is not a basic meditation app or a generic sound frequency you find online. It is a 7-minute audio track using advanced brain entrainment technology. It is compressed from 1 full hour of clinical protocol into something you do at home with headphones and closed eyes. That is the entirety of what it requires from you. You do not meditate and you do not chant. You simply press play for 7 minutes and let the frequency do what your brain was designed to receive. But the Genius Song is not for everyone watching. It is only for the chosen one who has already done the heavy inner work. It is for the person who understands that what is being blocked is not their faith, but the frequency through which their faith moves. Biofeedback sessions to restore this powerful state cost hundreds of dollars per hour in a clinical setting. An in-home machine runs into the thousands. What the Genius Song delivers in 7 short minutes is available to you today for a fraction of its true value. If your spirit confirms this is for you, the path is open. And it comes with 4 powerful bonuses designed to elevate your entire family. You receive an audio track designed specifically for your children to build their confidence. You get the original prosperity text that the famous secret was secretly built upon. It also includes a guided visualization and a daily habits guide built to sustain your new gamma state. But here is the deeper truth about waiting. The beautiful blessing arranged for you does not arrive as completely new information. It arrives as a profound recognition. Something already placed in your path becomes visible when your gamma receiver is finally restored. The chosen one who restores their receiver today does not get something new. They finally see what was always there waiting for them. Waiting is not neutral because the divine arrangement is already in motion. You must be ready to catch the synchronicities before they pass you by. Do not look for this on YouTube or Spotify. The tracks circulating under similar names on those platforms have absolutely no brain entrainment technology encoded in them. They carry the name because the barrier to faking it is zero. The only authentic version is available through the protected link, and the universe requires no financial risk from a true chosen one. This is an energetic exchange governed by complete trust. If you do not feel the massive shift you deserve, every single penny is returned. That is a divine guarantee to protect your peace of mind. The authentic link is in the description and in the first pinned comment below. You can step into it right now if you feel the call. But remember that the tool is not the final destination. The tool simply restores the broken receiver so the beautiful destination can be recognized when it arrives. God does not require you to purchase anything to be fiercely loved or chosen. What was described is simply one way the receiver is restored. Whether that specific path is for you or not, the truth of this message belongs to you entirely. Now let us go deeper into what is waiting for you. For the chosen one whose spirit confirmed what was described earlier, the path is still open. It is waiting for you in the description and the pinned comment below, and it will remain there for those who are truly ready. That is the last time it will be mentioned today. What follows now belongs entirely to your beautiful ceiling. You are completely ready for this next step. Everything you endured over these past few years was never wasted. The heavy tears you cried in secret were actually watering the seeds of your future, because heaven uses every ounce of pain to build your massive strength. You thought the intense pressure was going to break your spirit completely, but it was only breaking the heavy shell that kept you trapped. You are finally breathing free. You are not the misunderstood outcast that the world tried to label you. You are the chosen one who carries a frequency they desperately need. The system wanted you to feel small because your massive presence terrified them, but you do not have to shrink yourself to fit their small boxes anymore. You belong to a much higher order. You do not need anyone to give you permission to step into this massive calling. The authority was already woven into your DNA before you took your first breath. You have spent your whole life waiting for someone to validate your intense depth, while heaven already validated you the moment you were born. You are officially activated. I want you to release every single agreement you made with delay and limitation. Release the toxic lie that you are too much or too sensitive for this harsh world. Your sensitivity is the exact radar that detects the truth when everyone else is lying, and it is time you start trusting your own internal compass again. You are a true frequency master. The people who walked away from you recently were simply out of alignment with your new season. You must stop mourning the loss of heavy anchors that were holding your ship back. The universe cleared your physical space so you could finally hear the spiritual instructions clearly, because a crowded room is completely deafening to a chosen one. Your path is wide open. Your profound breakthrough is not coming sometime in the distant future. It is already here, and it is already moving powerfully in your life right now. You just needed to wipe the dust off your spiritual receiver to actually see it. The massive doors are already unlocked and waiting for your hand, so you just have to step forward and push. The old version of you could not have survived the intense fire of this massive transition. but you walked through the roaring flames and you did not even smell like smoke. You are standing on solid ground, and your foundation is completely unshakable. The enemy lost his tight grip on your mind, and he absolutely knows it. Your victory is permanent. Tomorrow morning, you are going to wake up feeling completely different. The heavy burden that usually sits on your chest will be entirely gone. You will look around your quiet room and finally feel a deep sense of beautiful peace, because the isolation will no longer feel like a cold and unforgiving prison. It will feel like a warm and safe sanctuary. You are going to notice small synchronicities happening all around you this week. Numbers will align, and perfect strangers will smile at you for no logical reason. That is simply the universe confirming that your frequency is broadcasting clearly again, and you are finally magnetizing the exact blessings you prayed for in the absolute dark. The dry season is over. The right people are currently making their way into your daily life. They will not ask you to dilute your intense energy or quiet your authentic voice. They will actually celebrate the exact things the system told you to hide, while pushing you to expand your beautiful light even further into the world. You are building a brand new tribe. You will never walk alone again. Guard your precious energy closely as you move forward into this new chapter. Do not give your sacred attention to things that drain your beautiful spirit. You have a massive assignment to complete, and it requires your absolute focus. Because the world desperately needs the exact medicine that you carry inside your heart. Do not hold it back anymore. You are completely safe, and you are divinely protected on every single side. The cosmic arrangement is working in your favor, even when you are sleeping softly. You do not have to fight the heavy current of the roaring river anymore, but rather you just have to float and let the divine water carry you directly to your promised destination. It is completely effortless. If this message met you in the exact place you needed it today, please share it. Send it to someone who has also been called too sensitive their entire life, because we are waking up an entire generation of chosen ones who forgot their true power. Leave a comment below to seal this healing energy into your physical reality. The season of brutal preparation is officially complete, and your assignment starts right now. You are exactly where you are supposed to be in this beautiful timeline. Breathe deeply and step boldly into the brilliant light of your brand new identity. You are fiercely loved, and you are never forgotten. I will see you in the next revelation.